What's up guys, my name is Kieran and you're very welcome to the channel. And in this video I want to break down my full portfolio. I also want to give you an introduction to who I am, what my current financial situation is and why I'm doing YouTube. I want to be as transparent as I can with this channel because at the end of the day I'm talking about money. And money, just like our health and our relationships, is a foundational layer of our lives. So I think it deserves respect and transparency. Also, I think having this background information on myself and what I'm doing gives you more context around the channel and the content that I create. And I think that's important. If that's something you appreciate guys then, and you want to show me support, all you have to do is smash that like button. It really helps me out. On a side note as well, we recently passed 2,000 subscribers. Now this might not seem like a lot, but for me and any new content creator, it's a really big deal because it's an important milestone. Often the first couple of thousand are the hardest to get. So I want to just say thank you to everybody who subscribed and who supported the channel in the last couple of months. Okay, so let's kick off with a brief introduction of who I am and why I'm doing YouTube. Okay, so I just turned 30 and I work full-time as an engineer. And to be honest, it's only in the last 3 years that I've really started to take my finances seriously. And in that time, I've managed to pay off all my high interest debt. I've managed to save for a deposit for a mortgage, which I now have, and I've managed to start my pension portfolio. On top of that, I've also started investing in a taxable portfolio, which is the one that I'm going to show you now today. I won't be showing you my non-taxable pension portfolio because, to be honest, I'm just investing into a range of ETFs as that's the only choice that I have. However, because this pension portfolio is tax-free, I invest a lot more into that portfolio than I do to the one I'm about to show you. That's just a no-brainer because we get taxed enough as it is in Ireland. So you'd be very silly to not take full advantage of any tax incentives the government offers. And with the portfolio that you're about to see now, keep in mind that I'm consistently investing into this every month. So my biggest position today could very well turn out to be my smallest position in 10 years, depending on how I decide to allocate my capital going forward. Now these are all important points because they all highlight my tolerance to risk, which at this stage in my life, considering my age, the fact that I have no debt and the fact that I have a roof over my head and a full-time job, is considered quite high. Okay, so now that you know a little bit about me and my financial situation, why am I doing YouTube? Well, YouTube ticks 2 boxes for me. And the first one is, it's another potential source of income. Now I recently got monetized and let me tell you, what YouTube is paying me is absolutely pitiful. There's no way it is worth the time that I put into it at this stage. But to be fair, it's early days and I only really managed to put out a video maybe once a week because I do have a full-time job and a family, so it's very challenging to find the time. But at the same time, if I continue to work at this and try and maximize the amount of time that I can put into it going forward, it has the potential to turn into, a reasonable side hustle. And in time, this will diversify my income, ultimately giving me more security. The second reason I'm doing YouTube then is because it's such an amazing learning opportunity. Every time I prepare and record a video, I learn so much in the process. I learn not just about the company or the commodity that I'm researching, but I learn a lot about the creation process as well. On top of that then, when I actually release the video, I learn even more from the comments and the input that you guys give me afterwards. And guys, I truly believe that you need to keep continuously learning or you risk stagnating. And the more skills that you learn, no matter how different or incompatible they might seem, they all add up on your metaphorical CV to make you a more complete and well-rounded individual. And in this regard, making YouTube videos has been a massive growth driver for me. Not only has it made me a better investor, but it's also given me other really valuable skills. Okay, so now let's have a look at my portfolio. But firstly, I need to give you the disclaimer. I'm clearly not a financial advisor. As I said, I'm an engineer. So don't take anything I say as gospel. I have been wrong in the past and I'll sure as hell be wrong again in the future. Always do your own research and make your own decisions, especially when it comes to investing. Okay, so now let's discuss my portfolio. I'm going to start with the biggest positions and then I'm going to work my way down. I'm not going to discuss every position in detail because that'll just take too long. However, I will show you the overall percentage allocation for each position, the current price as of close of market on Thursday the 20th of August, my cost basis and my percentage loss or gain. And keep in mind that all prices are in US dollars. Okay, so as you can see, my largest position is obviously Tesla, and this makes up 25.5% of my overall portfolio. Tesla is currently trading at a price just above $2,000, which is absolutely insane. My break-even price per share is $841, and overall I'm up about 137% on this position. Guys, I absolutely love Tesla. I love the company, I love the technology, and I think Elon Musk is absolutely brilliant. And let me tell you, investing in this company has taught me more lessons about investing than any other company. When this stock was trading for just $200, I absolutely loved the company then as well. But you know what? I doubted my own belief, I doubted my own research, and I got too hung up listening to the media and all the short sellers. As a result, I didn't invest heavily enough. Of course, when the stock rallied then, I kicked myself for not going with my gut instinct. On top of that then, when the stock rallied earlier this year, I was expecting it to drop significantly, and I actually sold out of a lot of my shares. In the end, nothing of the sort happened, and I actually ended up buying them back at a small loss. So now my cost base is much higher than I would have liked it to be, but thankfully the stock has rallied so much that I'm still up massively on the position. However, I've learned two important lessons here, and I should be up much more if I had just listened to my gut instinct and left the bloody thing alone. Anyway, needless to say, after being burnt in and out of this stock in the past, I've learned my lesson, and I'm just going to hold this one for the long term. I'm truly excited to see what will become of this company over the next decade. What I will say though is I wouldn't be surprised if this stock trades sideways or even goes down over the next year or two, because let's be honest, this stock has so much catching up to do. Its price has gone absolutely astronomical and the fundamentals just aren't there yet. However, you just never know what can happen, so with that being said, I've learned to leave this alone and let's just see how it plays out. My second largest position then, guys, is Bitcoin at 25% of my portfolio. Currently, Bitcoin is trading at $11,800 and my break-even price is just over $8,000. So overall, I'm up 31.7% on this position. I've discussed why I'm investing in Bitcoin in detail in this video, which I'll link up above and down below. But here's the cliff notes. We all know that central banks are printing unprecedented levels of currency. Therefore, I want to take my hard-earned currency and put it in the hardest known store of value that exists. And I believe that's Bitcoin. You see, there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins created, and that makes it the scarcest form of money that's ever existed. I truly believe that this is going to increase massively in value over the next decade, and that's why I want to accumulate as much of it as I can right now while I believe it's still cheap. From a fundamental perspective, I think it's currently undervalued because its supply rate was cut in half in May, and this is likely to lead to a surge in price over the next year. From a technical perspective as well, the chart looks incredible and it's just broke out of a long-term wedge. All of this makes me very, very bullish on not just Bitcoin but cryptocurrencies in general. Now listen, I could talk for hours on Bitcoin as there's so much to unpack, but we don't have the time in this video, so let's move on. So my third largest position then, at 13.7%, is altcoins. Now altcoins are cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin. Now I don't have a current price in there because this is a mixture of different altcoins. But overall I'm up 37.4% on what I own. My main holding here is Ethereum, which unlike Bitcoin is not considered a store of value, but instead it's a blockchain which developers can build on top of. Think of Ethereum like an app store. I also own a number of other small positions in different cryptocurrencies that I believe will make good short-term trades or long-term holds. This is a very new part of my portfolio and I'm still learning about this space. What I will say though is the more I learn, the more interested I seem to become and the more excited I become about the potential opportunities. My fourth largest position then, at just over 5% of my portfolio, is Square. So Square is currently trading at about $155 and my break-even price per share is $105, and overall I'm up 47.25%. This is a position that I'm actively trying to increase. I'm extremely excited about the future of this company and I intend on continuously investing in this company to try and build this position up further. The only problem is the stock just keeps going up. and I'd love to catch it on a dip, but an opportunity just doesn't seem to come. I have covered this stock extensively on the channel, so I won't get into detail here. However, I will link my previous video down below in the description if you want to check it out. My fifth largest position then, guys, is London Mining at just over 4% of my portfolio. London's currently trading at just under $6 and my break-even price is $4.6. Overall, I'm up 28% on this position. So guys, I'm very bullish on copper long term. Essentially, it's required in all forms of small and large scale electronics, renewable energy systems and electrical transportation. I think it's a no-brainer that copper demand will only increase with the growth of these industries, but also with the development of third world countries and the increase in population. All these tailwinds and the current price of copper make this a really great long-term investment in my view. London as well is a great company and a great way to gain exposure to this industry. They produce copper, but also gold, zinc and nickel. My sixth largest position then, guys, at just over 3% is Gazprom. Currently, the shares are trading at about $5. My break-even price is 5.6, so we're down just about 10%. Gazprom are a large Russian gas producer, and as well as having huge reserves of natural gas, they also own a huge amount of pipelines running into Europe and Asia. Natural gas usage is on the increase, and it's expected to continuously increase over the next couple of decades. I'm skeptical of just how much growth there is in this industry, as I'm very bullish on renewables long term. However, at current prices, Gazprom is ridiculously cheap. Just the cost of its infrastructure alone is worth considerably more than what the business is trading for today. I expect that gas prices are going to increase over the next 2 to 3 years. And when that happens, I expect the price of this company to get re-rated. When that happens, I'll probably sell out of this position because it's not one that I intend on holding long term. However, in the meantime, it does pay a nice dividend. My seventh largest position then, guys, is Illumina at 3%. Currently, the shares are trading at $354 after a hefty decline in the last 2 weeks since they released their Q2 earnings. However, my break-even price is just slightly below this at $340. So we're near around break-even on this position. I am in Illumina to gain exposure to the growing genomics industry. Much like Square, I've covered this stock extensively on the channel, so I won't get into the detail here. As of right now though, I'm not actually adding to this position, and that's because a very recent email that came out from ARK Invest has left me a little bit unsure about the technology roadmap for this company and the industry in general. This is pretty normal when it comes to investing. Sometimes you hit a roadblock and you have to make a decision about moving forward, and I just haven't done the research yet to make that decision. So I'm certainly not getting scared out of this position by any means, but I'm just easing off on adding for the moment until I'm clear on the path forward. My next position then, guys, is a company called Novonix. This was a very recent and speculative investment that I've been lucky to do very well on, and as you can see, we're up 100% on this position. This company produces synthetic graphite, and if you want to know more about this company, just have a search on YouTube, because lots of content creators have made content on this company. So in the interest of time, I'm not going to get into it here. My next position then, guys, is Spotify at just over 2% of my portfolio. Currently, shares are trading for about $270 and I've managed to get in at a cost basis of $185. So we're up 45% on this position. As I'm sure you're aware, Spotify are a music and audio streaming platform. Again, I've covered them on this channel previously. However, since I've covered them, I have actually become even more bullish on the company with their recent announcements of more and more high-profile podcasts. My next two positions then are two silver and gold ETFs, iShares Physical Gold and Sprott Physical Silver. As you can see, we're up about 8% on the gold position and up nearly 60% on the physical silver position. Again, guys, I've covered why I've been buying gold and silver positions in a recent video I did on the channel, so I won't get into it here, but I will link it up above and down below so you can check it out. The cliff notes are though that I'm very bullish on both gold and silver over the next 2 to 3 years, and I want to be exposed to that through various ETFs and miners. Up next then, guys, is a Russian nickel producer called Norilsk, and we're up 23% on this position. This company has some of the highest grade nickel ore on the planet and one of the largest ore bodies. They also produce copper, platinum and palladium and pay a hefty dividend. Being situated in Russia, obviously it comes with risk, but considering the size of the allocation in my portfolio, I'm not concerned. In the interest of time then, guys, I'm going to breeze through the next few positions. So we have Kirkland Lake Gold, First Majestic Silver and Pan America Silver. Kirkland are of course a gold producer, and then First Majestic and Pan America are both silver miners. Again, these positions are giving me exposure to gold and silver prices, which I've already discussed. The next 5 positions then are very small, so I'm just going to breeze through them. But we have Livent first, who are a lithium producer. Again, I did a video on lithium which I'll link above and down below so you can check it out. And if I was to increase my exposure further to this market, I'd be buying Albemarle, which I outlined in that video. Next then are 2 gold mining stocks, B2B and Caledonia Mining. Again, I won't get into detail on these. I've already explained that I'm looking for exposure to gold and silver prices. And finally then, we have FVAC and Stratasys, 2 tiny positions that I took just to incentivize myself to do further research on the companies and the industries. I'll either sell out of these or make them into meaningful positions depending on future research. Overall guys, I'm up 47% on this portfolio. Okay guys, that's everything. I'm going to have to leave it at that because I'm actually losing my voice. I hope you got value from this video, and if you did, I'd really appreciate it if you give the video a like. It really helps me grow the channel. Also, let me know in the comments below if you have any further questions on any of the positions, or if you'd like to hear me talk about any of them in a future video. Also, if you haven't yet guys, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on the notifications bell. I don't release videos as often as other creators, so it's good to hit the bell if you don't want to miss any future videos. So that's all from me. Thanks so much for watching, have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one.